Hi, I'm Hyacinth and I'm an early childhood educator.
Hi, I'm Anthony and I'm a financial consultant. Welcome to our 5-room flat in Tiong Bahru. Previously, both of us were staying in the north, but before my current job, I was actually working in River Valley. So we got to know the area well and obviously fell in love with it. So if we had the opportunity to move over here, we definitely have to take it. It just so happened that last year, 2 units in the block went up for sale of balance. We jumped at the chance and we were extremely lucky to get it.
For the design, we like the idea of coming home to a cozy place that makes you feel like you're on a holiday. We mainly used neutral colors and chose different materials to create texture. Honestly, I can't describe our home in one specific style because there's a lot of different styles that have intertwined and we meshed together. There are some coastal elements inspired by the beachy island vibes, and there are also some Wabi-Sabi elements here and there. Overall, I think Anthony and I wanted to experiment with different things in our house, and our ID, Keith, also had the same vision as us.
So fortunately, we already knew Keith, who is a really close friend of ours. He's our ID from SG Interior Design. Knowing his personality, we knew he would be perfect for the job. Unfortunately, he passed away recently, but we still want to take this opportunity to honor him by shining a light on his work. I think he would have loved that. Originally, this was our living room, but we wanted a chill area where our friends and our family could just sit around and hang out. So we had this extended platform built where people can actually sit and just hang. To accommodate as many people within this area, we extended the space by merging the balcony with the living room. Then we wanted a television area on a separate room. We converted one of our junior bedrooms into an entertainment room.
For that island feel, we intentionally bought this rattan-style sofa and a wicker lounge chair, which incidentally is also called the Hyacinth chair. And because of this relaxing, easygoing vibe of the space, we tend to spend a lot of time here, whether it's drinking coffee, reading a book, you're just listening to music and just chilling out. Keith had a brilliant idea of concealing the entertainment room behind a display shelf, which we thought was pretty cool. It's a very simple area, wanted to keep it cozy with just a couch and a TV. We also wanted to keep it as flexible as possible because in the future, we might want to have kids or we would want to maybe turn the room into something else.
Yeah, so the irony is sometimes when our friends stay over, instead of sleeping in the guest room, they just fall asleep in our entertainment room. Yeah, because the couch is actually really comfortable.
Very comfy.
So we initially wanted an open kitchen, but due to the structure of the house, that wasn't possible. We decided to have a separate wet and dry area instead.
The main highlight of the dry kitchen is definitely this island. Unlike the usual ones, this island is made with pure concrete. The idea was to introduce some texture and variety into the space. We wanted to break away from having a lot of wood and we wanted to introduce more natural materials as well. What we really like about this material is the Wabi-Sabi element that it brings. When our guests leave their mugs here or sometimes when we have dinner, we accidentally spill something, it actually leaves behind a mark, and even though we try very hard to clean it, we can't get some marks off. So we realized that after some time, there's a lot of marks on the concrete island, and it actually has a story to tell.
So initially we had this wild idea of removing the windows here to create sort of an al fresco dining area, but we decided that it's just not practical. Also, the kitchen is way too narrow for that. Now we do have an actual seating area by the window on top of our galley-style kitchen. It's actually pretty useful because when Hyacinth does the cooking or our friends come over, it just adds up as another hangout area while waiting for the food to cook. So the master bedroom is pretty simple. One of the highlights is the lowered ceiling by the door, which creates this nice effect that the space is opening up when you walk in. As this is where we'll be winding down at the end of the day, we wanted our master toilet to have a more zen vibe, with more neutral color tiles and a glass divider. Something you'll notice in both bathrooms are these carved bowl sinks. They're something we really wanted, which added an organic feel to the space. I think we basically scouted the entire island before finding one place in the West that actually sells them.
In contrast, we went with a more fun and quirky vibe for the common toilet. We chose these Mediterranean tiles, which were inspired by something similar that we saw when we were traveling in Spain for our wedding photo shoot. Around certain areas in the house, there's also Spanish tiles that we brought back from our travels. You'll also notice this display area here. This was actually the original entrance to the bathroom before we shifted it. We figured that this would be a more convenient entrance for the guests, because otherwise they'd have to go into the kitchen to be able to go into the toilet. It's been about 7 months since we moved here, and even now it still feels very surreal to wake up in this space. The neighborhood and people here are fantastic, and you've got everything that you need around the neighborhood. The house is everything we've wanted and more, and we've got SG Interior and our ID Keith to thank for that.
So when we were actually living in the north, we always wanted to go and do something, but now that we're actually in the city, we find ourselves wanting to stay at home more often than not. I think that's a testament to the wonderful job that our dear friend Keith and his team did for our home, and we'll forever be grateful to him.